This is Fergus Hodgson. Welcome to the Ferg Running channel. I'm excited to do my first review and first video. I'm returning to running training in a serious fashion after more than 20 years away. I left the sport when I was in my early years at high school. Running was one of my first loves, and I went to rowing, and now I'm having a crack at running again. Now, I was just out with a crew here in Utah tonight discussing this new shoe which arrived, and I wanted to make a video review while it was fresh in my mind. These arrived last week and I've been for one run on them. I want to share my feedback, my personal response. People have different perspectives, but these are the Asics Metaracers. They're Asics' first carbon-plated shoes. They came out in 2020. They're not a full carbon-plated shoe. It is a carbon plate only in the forefoot, and they are more of an intermediate shoe in that they are a little bit more shaped like a racing flat, a little bit, let's say, more modest in terms of the stack height. And these retail for $200 US versus, let's say, $250, $275 for the very top end carbon-plated shoes, the Nike Alpha Fly, and the latest from Asics, which are the Metaspeed Sky, Metaspeed Edge. So, what do I do with these shoes? The first day I got them, I took them out for a warm-up, about a mile, kilometer and a half, and then I did a 10K time trial in them, and put them. It was basically a max test, a time trial, a tempo run, and first impressions, they don't feel comfortable. It's awkward having a bit of a lump in your foot, to be frank. But they're not designed for comfort. They're designed for speed. And then I took them for a 10K time trial, which I do basically every Wednesday. We're at altitude here in Lehi, Utah. And so what was the outcome? There were a few key stats that I got out of this. First, it's been hot, so and we're at altitude and it's been hot, so the times are not so quick, but I went from 42.06 to 41.30 on the 10K, so 36 seconds down. My cadence was a little bit up, 164 to 166, and my heart rate came down from 156 to 140 on average. The biggest change I felt in terms of the run was on the back end of the last 4 to 5 kilometers, so the second half, I really felt my speed come down, and I'm not sure why that was, but I was wearing these shoes, and that was in comparison to the Escalante. Normally, I run in the Ultra Escalante, which is also a beautiful shoe. I'm going to keep using these for training. They have zero drop and a nice wide forefoot, so they're very comfortable and unlikely to give you injuries. And so I was comparing this to that, and I got these shoes to the Escalante. And so I got a bit more speed, let's say about 30 seconds over 10K. I got a little bit more cadence. I got a lower heart rate, so I was fresher. I would have been fresher going on for a longer distance. And so I'm really happy with these. In terms of size, they are true to size. I wear size 11. These are size 11. They felt a little bit narrow in the front, but that's because I use the Ultras, which are basically a wider forefoot as their calling card. So I imagine that for most people, this just fits normally like a regular your regular size. Now, I have seen some other criticisms of this shoe online, and I spent a lot of time thinking about this purchase before I went through with it. The chief criticism is that these are really best for 10K and half marathon distances because they do not have the big stack height. They don't have the big sponginess, the softness that you might want. To be frank, I quite like the slim down version of a shoe, and I've liked racing flats just for training in general. So that means there's no problem to me. I'll be glad to run half marathons and full marathons in this. I've got a half coming up in 3 weeks, and a full in about, I'm trying to think now, 2 months. And I'm very happy. I'll be happy to run the full distance in these. There's one other note too that people had mentioned that these have great airflow. ventilation. And they actually have, you might be able to see this on the camera, a little hole right in the front to let air come in. So this allows your feet to be cooler, and that may be one reason why your heart rate is a little bit lower. Anyway, my own view, yes, these are beautifully designed. They're a great gateway to carbon-plated shoes for those of us who have not jumped on that bandwagon. And I see Asics really took their time and put a lot of attention into these. So I recommend them highly. I'm excited to use them more. I am excited also just to keep my training towards a sub 3-hour marathon. And I hope you will consider learning with me as I pursue this. And if you'd like to, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on Twitter at Ferg Running. That's F-E-R-G Running. And that's where I'm making all my posts related to fitness. So running, rowing, and nutrition. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.